Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Wednesday, February 26, 2025. Stand up for your country. Well, the deal making continues at the White House. And the latest is what I predicted, that Ukraine and the USA will sign a contract for America to harvest minerals on Ukrainian soil. Wow. This is pretty interesting. Now, some of the deals that Donald Trump is making, I think, are good. Others are questionable. I'll give you an example of that, the tariffs. So I understand in theory why Trump is doing this. He's tired of countries like Mexico and Canada and China getting a lot more money from us than pumping back into our economy. I got it. But the tariffs could adversely affect American workers, for example, in the car industry. If the price of American cars goes up, and under tariffs, those prices will, there will be fewer cars sold. So we don't know about the tariffs. Could work out. Trump thinks it will, but we don't know. But this Ukraine deal, I think is a pretty good one. And that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So here's what it says. Ready? And I'm probably the only one going to tell you exactly what it says. The U.S. and Ukraine have agreed to establish an investment fund drawing money from as yet untapped seams of Ukraine's wealth of rare earth minerals. We're talking lithium, we're talking, a whole bunch of stuff that is in the Ukraine that they can't get out, but we could, because we have much better technology, all right? Both countries would then use this fund to invest in Ukraine's reconstruction and security, okay? But the money that the minerals gather would not be used to pay back America's assistance, which is about what, $170 billion so far in our war, something like that? Okay, it would not be used for that. But that's a sleight of hand, because all profits from the mineral extraction, and there would be billions of dollars in profits, would be split 50-50 between Kyiv and Washington. So money would be coming back into the U.S. Treasury. It's not a quid pro quo, it's not a payback, but we would be getting money, our Treasury, so that would, help defray the money we sent over there. It's a good deal. It's a good deal. And Zelensky is coming on Friday to sign it. But here's the most important part of the deal. And I mentioned this before. You have a situation where Putin is probably going to sign a ceasefire with Trump. But nobody trusts Putin. 6 months down the lane, he could say, and go back in. But if there's American structure in Ukraine, American workers, American security, American equipment, much harder for bad Vlad to do that. Because once he attacks U.S. interests, big. Okay, so now you have the scenario. I think that's a very fair assessment, by the way. If you disagree, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town. So the media's reaction was negative to the deal because everything Donald Trump does is bad. Here are the outlets that criticize Trump over the mineral deal. CNN, ABC News, New York Times, LA Times, MSNBC, Washington Post, Daily Mail, BBC, New York Post editorial board, Financial Times, and Forbes. That's just a partial list, okay? And I'll just play one far left crank. Go.
But the Trump alternative is a kind of almost gangsterism. I mean, today we've got this news about the mineral deal, right? Like, what's in it for me? What's in it for us? Give us your mineral, give us your treasure, or we won't protect you.
That's not what the deal says. So, I mean, look, I'll deal with MSNBC a little bit later on, but if you guys are nobody's watching it, I understand. Now, on News Nation, there was a balanced approach. Go.
Suddenly, the United States has a stake in Ukraine surviving as a nation. And given that the war aim, repeatedly announced by Putin, is the extinguishment of the state of Ukraine, this might also be a win for Ukraine.
Of course it's a win for Ukraine. They're in business with us. Come on. So that's the way to report it fairly. I mean, you maybe it won't work out. Maybe Putin won't give a hoot. I don't know. But Trump is at least trying. Okay, he's playing a chess game with Putin. And that's the memo. Okay. Now, there is a war between the president and the American press. You know, we've been over this. I think we have the best reportage. And I talked about this on Hannity's radio program. This is fascinating. And I hope you listen to it on BillO'Reilly.com because we have it posted. So I disagree with Hannity. Hannity says that Trump is not trying to seek retribution against the U.S. media. No, he is. And Hannity makes his argument. I make mine. You can decide who's stronger. Okay. He absolutely is. Trump wants to punish the corrupt American media. And it's so obvious. Okay. But I'm glad Hannity disagreed because that makes a better debate. It makes a better debate. So today on True Social, here's what Trump says, quote, as a president who's being given credit for having the best opening month of any president in history, quite naturally, here come the fake books and stories with the so-called anonymous or off-the-record quotes. At some point, I'm going to sue some of these dishonest authors and book publishers, or even media in general, find out whether or not these anonymous sources even exist, which they largely do not, unquote. Now, Trump has already sued ABC, Disney, and he won $17 million for his library. CBS, 60 Minutes, for the Kamala Harris interview, they'll settle with Trump. And he's got a couple of other lawsuits in play against media operations, okay? He booted the AP, not giving them access, direct access to him, and on and on and on and on. And this is no accident, okay? Because all of these media outlets have tried to hurt him. And now he's the most powerful man in the world, and he's saying, hey, payback time. It's exactly what's happening. Is it wrong? No. As I told Hannity, if the president sees corruption in the country, no matter where it is, if you're the president and you see it, you got to try to do something about it. You're the president. Simple as that. I do it. All right. Immigration. This is like every day there's 4 or 5 unbelievable stories coming out of the Trump White House. So now Trump has signed an executive order called Protecting the American People Against Invasion. As part of that order, all aliens 14 years of age or older have to register with the federal government and be fingerprinted. Okay? And if you do not, you can be arrested by ICE and put in jail if you're convicted. Okay. Now, I've been saying this for years, that when you have 20 million, 10 million, 15, whatever it may be, people unsupervised in this country, people you don't even know who they are. Okay? Because the government knows who I am and you by the census, by your tax returns. They know where we live. But these people just snuck in. And the government has no idea. So you got to know. You have to know. Or they can do damage, unbelievable amount of damage. So I always said you have to have some registration. Now, here is a soundbite from September 19th, 2024. About 6 months ago. Roll the tape. So what does mass deportation mean? Nobody knows what it means because Donald Trump has not, and I don't think can, define what it means. He doesn't know. It's a great slogan, big applause line every time he says it, mobilizes his base. But how are you going to do it? Now, there's a way, and I'm going to tell you once again, I'm sorry to be repetitive, but this is the way you do it. Okay? You can't have people kicking doors in, chasing people around. Can't do that. What you can do is say to anyone in this country without documentation, you have 3 months. I had it originally at 6, but I'd bring it down to 3. You have 3 months, 90 days, to register with your local post office. Each post office will have a registration form. You're to fill it out, and then you send it to Homeland Security on an envelope that's already given to you, and the government pays the stamp. If you do not fill out the form, and the form would say, who are you? What country do you come from? Where are you living? Do you have a job? Do you have dependents, children? That kind of thing. It's a questionnaire. If you don't do it within 90 days and you're caught by the authorities, local, state, federal, you're deported without a hearing. All right, so Trump has upped that to criminal prosecution. So it's the same thing. You know, and I'm kind of proud that when I put this stuff out, I know the President of the United States knows what I'm saying. You saw it with the terrorist designation for the Mexican drug cartels. All right, but I actually had a face-to-face conversation with him about that. I didn't have a face-to-face conversation about how to register illegal aliens, but he knows my commentary. You got to do it. But again, you know, you do it, then the left doesn't like it. Roll the tape.
This is why President Trump has people thinking he has some dark tendencies. Why? A registry smacks of dark periods of our history. The idea that you want people 14 or older to be required to submit fingerprints and home addresses to the government, and if they fail to register, they could be fined $5,000, sentenced to 6 months in prison.
Why is that dark? You've got to have control over who's in your country. So if there's a criminal from Paraguay and there's no DNA and no fingerprint and nothing on the man or the woman, the authorities are powerless unless they catch him in the act. So if they investigate and they find fingerprints, they can't match him. Now, I'm going to be on Cuomo tonight. I don't know if we're going to talk about this. His show, it's up to him, but I'll be happy to debate him on it. But it's not dark. It's protective. You're protecting the American people. You know, it's all about virtue signaling. I'm not accusing Cuomo of that, but oh, no, we can't do that. We can't. We have to let them go. I know people, if you are a drug dealer selling fentanyl and heroin and you are in this country illegally, and there are millions that are doing that, okay? And you have a girlfriend in the house knowing that you're selling hard drugs, but the girlfriend isn't selling and doesn't have a record. The liberal go, oh, you can't deport that girlfriend. Yeah, you can. You round up everybody in the house. Come on. The Gulf is so huge. You know, it's never going to be breached. Ever. It's too late. It's like the 1850s, south-north. Okay. Are you having trouble sleeping or staying asleep? Try Beam's Dream Powder. It's a science-backed hot cocoa for sleep. Not only is it a bestseller, it's delicious and with no added sugar. Better sleep has never tasted better. And today, my listeners get a special discount, 40% off or up to that. Other sleep aids can cause next-day grogginess, but Dream contains a powerful all-natural blend of ingredients, including magnesium and melatonin, among others. They will help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed. Try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder today. Get up to 40% off for a limited time at shopbeam.com/Bill. Use code BILL at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/bill. Use code BILL for up to 40% off. Okay, as we told you, I'm going to do a Jon Stewart commentary on our YouTube channel, which we would very much like you to sign up for because we want 1 million members by Easter and we're closing in. YouTube.com/Bill O'Reilly. So come and join us there. You will not be sorry. Let's go to the mail. We got Anthony Roush, Wall Township, New Jersey. Hey, Bill, I usually agree with you, but I cannot get on board with Trump appeasing Putin. Russia's strategy has been to target civilians, and that's a clear violation of the Geneva Convention. And to side with Putin in any way puts the rule of law in the garbage. Well, I don't think Trump's siding with Putin. As I analyzed pretty extensively, Anthony, he's trying to get a deal. And he's not antagonizing Putin. We got to live in the real world here. You don't get a deal with Putin, the war continues. Nothing's going to stop it. That's it. David, at least there's a chance the warfare ends. With Joe Biden, there was no way. Okay, that's true. Putin wouldn't even take his call. Embarrassing. Boy, oh boy. I can imagine if I were president, somebody didn't take my call. Ooh. Fran, the U.S. has been messing in Ukraine's business for many years, and that's wrong. We should get out of Ukraine's business, stop sending money and war material to Zelensky and leave them alone to solve the problem. Well, friend, that means Taiwan goes. That means Putin invades other countries. That means chaos in the world. That means the American economy craters because of chaos in the world. You want all that? You need to think a little bit deeper about this. Alan, the outcome is a choice between a peace deal or Russia will own all of Ukraine. The longer the war continues, the more territory Ukraine will lose. Doesn't have the industrial capacity or to win the fight. Absolutely right. Ukraine can't beat Russia. And that's a disadvantage, obviously, in any negotiation. David, concierge member, Bill, this issue between Trump and the Associated Press is petty. I could not care less what the Gulf of Mexico America is called. But it's not about that. As we explained, it's about the Associated Press being far left. That's what it's about. Okay. But I agree. I'm calling the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of Mexico. I'm a traditionalist. I'm not changing. Okay. L. Roman, Jacksonville, Florida. You mentioned today the names of cabinet members that said no to Elon Musk's email requesting bullet points by federal employees. How about Trump directs his cabinet members to make employees comply? He's not going to do that. President Trump held a cabinet meeting today. Could have said, hey, there's Elon, because Elon was into a little hat. I don't know why Elon had a little hat in a cabinet meeting, but he did. And the president could have said, hey, I want you all to comply with Elon Musk's little order, but he didn't, because he's not going to do that. Bill Henderson, Peachtree City, Georgia. Most of the people did nothing more than accept a job with the federal government. They didn't create the federal corrupt system. They have kids to feed and bills to pay like the rest of us. Tell Elon to ditch the chainsaw and bring in job counselors. Well, I can see a little bit more compassion, but we got to cut the federal workforce. And I'm going to mean people are going to get hurt. But I get your point. You got to be some compassion, and job counseling would be good. Placement, whatever. Evelyn, thank you, Bill, for your perspective about President Trump's actions the first month of his presidency. It's been incredible. My husband and I look forward to No Spin News every day. That is what we are here to do. We will tell you the truth. Few others will. Ron Dooley, Commerce Township, Michigan. You mentioned in your Tuesday broadcast that Lincoln was our best president by far. That much better than Washington? Yes, because of the challenges. Washington didn't have a lot of challenge. Everybody said, hey, George, just do it. And George did it. Did a good job. Second best president. But Lincoln comes in and there's a civil war handed right to him. And he gets through it. And the nation is reunited. Confronting the presidents explains it all. All right. We have a tour, Three Americans Live, Long Island, Westbury Music Fair, March 30th, 3 p.m. They're the boys. We're going to have a great time. Now, we have new tickets with a price point you are going to like. We just released them. If you buy a VIP ticket to the Three American show, you do get to meet us and take a picture. So I have a lot of mail. Do we get to meet you guys? Yeah. Yeah, that's what a VIP situation is. So I hope you check it out. It's going to be a great show. And when you're there, wear your Not Woke baseball hat. That'll send a message to Cuomo, right? Get the hat, wear it to the show. Not formal. And then you can wear the polos, the tees. I don't think you have to bring a mug to the show. We have the mugs too. But you might hand Cuomo a bumper sticker that says Not Woke. Come on, we're going to have a good time at this show. And I want you to subscribe to our free newsletter and just sign up for it. And concierge and premium membership, please consider it. Will enhance your life very much. Word of the day, do not be a Philistine. One of my favorite words, Philistine. Back with a final thought in a moment. When your personal safety is threatened, you have a right to defend yourself, but it's your responsibility to do so wisely. You may want to reach right for your firearm, but many legal experts say that should be your last resort. Consider a tool that empowers you to de-escalate threats without taking a life. Byrna is a less lethal self-defense weapon with tear gas and kinetic impact ammunition. Its formidable power can stop a threat in its tracks. It's the difference between ending a confrontation and starting a tragedy. Made in the heart of America, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Byrna is a symbol of strength and a beacon of responsibility. It's legal in all 50 states, no background checks required, and they even ship straight to your doorstep. So visit Byrna.com/Bill for an exclusive 10% discount. That's BYRNA.com/Bill.
Byrna products cannot be legally purchased or used in New York City or Yonkers. Byrna's pepper-based or tear gas projectiles cannot be purchased or used in New York State. Certain other states and localities restrict the purchase or use of Byrna products. Please check the law in your own state or municipality and any area you plan to travel to or through while carrying or possessing a Byrna product. For more information regarding restricted markets, please go to Byrna.com.
You wouldn't wait for your car to break down to get an oil change, right? Your health should be no different. Don't wait until you get sick to get medications you might need. All Family Pharmacy makes healthcare simple, the way it should be. Whether you need ivermectin, antibiotics, maintenance meds, or other essential prescriptions, they've got you covered. Just order online and they will work with doctors who handle the prescriptions for you. They even ship your medication straight to your door. No waiting rooms, no hassle. Be ready before you need it. Stock up now. Take control of your health. Because when it comes to protecting your family, preparation is everything. Please go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Bill. Use code BILL10 for 10% off your order. That's allfamilypharmacy.com/Bill, code BILL10. Here is a final thought of the day. We are off tomorrow. Two reasons. My staff work Martin Luther King and President's Day, so I owe them. And Holly is not in great shape. She got swelling on the brain. So last night I was up most of the night with the dog, and I stabilized her. I should be a vet now. I got great vets, and we're trying to keep Holly alive. This is basically the bottom line on this. And she was better today, much better. But I got to spend a lot of time on this. Now, Holly is part of the family, and you're the same thing. If you have pets, you're part of the family. And my philosophy is I have an obligation to protect anyone in my charge. That doesn't just mean family members, it means anybody, okay, in my sphere. My obligation is to protect them, and that extends to Holly. So I'm doing everything in my power. So last night was a rough one, and I got to monitor the next few days. So that's what we will do. St. Francis, we're taking all kinds of prayers to him, patron saint of all the animals. And, you know, I tell you this because I want to be upfront about it. You know, we're not just slacking off tomorrow. There's a reason. And I'm glad my staff is getting a breather as well. So we'd like you to go to BillO'Reilly.com. Come out and see us on a tour. We'll have a lot of laughs. We'll have some fun. And become a premium or concierge member and get a free book, any book you want. So we're trying. I think you know that. And we'll see you again on Monday. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.